Picture this, it's 2018, and British Airways, one of the biggest, most trusted airlines on the planet, is at the center of this massive data breach. And we're not talking about a small oopsie here. This was a super sophisticated digital heist. It exposed the personal data of hundreds of thousands of customers, and maybe more importantly, it exposed a huge weakness in how the modern internet works. So how on earth did it happen? Let's get into it.
This is the number that really matters. 500,000. We're talking about 500,000 customers. People just trying to book a flight, maybe for a family vacation, typing in their names, their addresses, and of course, their credit card details. And all of that info was just snatched right from under their noses. And here is the real kicker, the part that makes this whole story so wild. The attackers never, not once, broke through British Airways firewalls. They never even touched BA's internal servers. So how? How did they pull off one of the biggest data heists of the year without ever breaking in? Well, the answer is kind of brilliant in a scary way. The attackers were basically hiding in plain sight. This wasn't some brute force smash and grab job. No, it was subtle. It was clever. It was a type of exploit known as a Magecart attack, or to put it simply, digital skimming. Think of it like this, okay? You know how criminals sometimes stick a little fake device on an ATM or a gas pump to copy your card info? Digital skimming is that exact same idea, but it's happening right inside your web browser. A few lines of code, completely invisible to you. Just sit there and watch you type in your payment details. And then they send a copy of everything straight to the bad guys, and it all happens in real time.
And this is the most important part to understand. The weak spot wasn't in British Airways' own code. It was in a piece of code they were borrowing from somewhere else, from an external third-party service, which, by the way, is a totally normal thing for websites to do. They attacked the supply chain, not the castle itself.
And here's the part that is just absolutely shocking. This whole disaster, this 500,000 customer data breach, it was all made possible because of a single, fundamental mistake in their code. One line that was missing a crucial security feature.
And right here, this is the smoking gun. This slide shows you the exact mistake. On the left, you see what BA was using, just a simple command to grab a file. But on the right, that's the safe way to do it. See those two differences? First, a specific version number, and second, that super long string of letters and numbers called an integrity hash. You can think of that hash like a unique digital fingerprint. It tells the browser, hey, only run this code if it's this exact version and if it matches this fingerprint perfectly. British Airways had neither.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. British Airways' website was basically programmed to go out to this other service, a content delivery network, or CDN, and just grab a file and run it. No questions asked. The whole point of a CDN is to help websites load faster, but in this case, that trust was completely, utterly misplaced. There was zero verification, just blind trust. Now, that safety feature they were missing, it has a name. It's called Subresource Integrity, or SRI. It's a security standard literally designed to prevent this exact kind of attack. That cryptographic hash is like a factory seal on a product. If the code is changed in any way, even by one character, the hash won't match, and the browser will just refuse to run it. It's the perfect defense, and it was just sitting there, unused. Okay, so the stage is set. The vulnerability is there, wide open for anyone to see. So how did the hackers actually pull this heist off? Let's walk through the steps. The attackers were smart. They didn't even bother with BA's defenses. Why would they? They went after the much weaker link, that third-party service. They broke in there and they found a JavaScript file called modernizr.js, a totally legitimate file that BA's website was programmed to load on its payment page every single time. Now, they didn't have to get fancy, they didn't rewrite the whole thing, they just added this tiny, malicious little snippet of code to the end of the legitimate file. I mean, look how simple it is. It basically just says, hey, whenever a user enters their card number, expiration date, and CVV, go ahead and send a copy of that to the attacker server. Shockingly simple and devastatingly effective. And remember that blind trust we talked about? Well, here's where it all goes wrong. Every time a customer went to the British Airways checkout page, their browser automatically downloaded this newly poisoned script. To the customer, everything looked fine. The page loaded, the BA logo was there, but in the background, a digital trap had been sprung. And because there was no sub-resource integrity hash, no digital fingerprint to check, the customer's browser had zero reason to be suspicious.
It was like getting a package delivered that's already been opened, but you've been told to just accept it no matter what. The tampering went completely undetected.
So with that malicious script running silently in the background, it was basically a digital pickpocket. Every single key you typed into that payment form, your name, your address, your credit card number, and that all-important 3-digit security code was being copied and sent off to the criminals without a single pop-up or warning.
And this might be the craziest part of all. This digital heist went on undetected for 2 whole weeks. British Airways' multi-million-dollar security systems were completely blind to it. Why? Because the attack wasn't happening on their servers. It was happening in their customers' own web browsers. It actually took an external security researcher, basically a good Samaritan, to spot the malicious activity and finally sound the alarm. So yeah, this incident was a massive wake-up call. And not just for BA, but really for any company that operates a website today. It teaches us some incredibly important lessons about modern web security. So what can we all take away from this? Well, first, you just can't blindly trust your partners. You have to actively control any external code on your site. Second, use the tools that are already available. Subresource Integrity is a simple fix that would have stopped this entire attack cold. And finally, you have to be able to see what's happening on your own digital front porch. Companies need to monitor what's going on in their users' browsers so they aren't waiting for a stranger to tell them their house is on fire. And this whole story leaves us with a final and frankly a pretty unsettling question. The modern web we all use is built on this really complex chain of trust between countless different services. And this attack shows just how fragile that trust can be. So think about it. How many websites do you trust completely blindly every single day?